Sound on, guys. I think it is now. Please let me know in the comments if my sound is now on. I think I had issues with my sound recently. It should be on now. Yes. Yes, so welcome to this live stream, guys. I'm really so honored again to host you today, this Sunday afternoon. The weather here is brilliant, and I thought, why not come live here again so we can catch up with what has been going on in the world of our British royals. But first of all, I would like to thank you all for the great support that you have showed me on this channel. Lorraine, great to see you, lady. There we go. I'm really grateful for your support, guys. We hit a massive milestone of 50k subscribers. What an incredible achievement, not just for me but for all of us on this channel. It has been such a journey, an incredible journey. Of course, it shows that our messages are going, are reaching many people out there, and we are growing constantly. On this channel, of course, we talk about our British royals and what they do, and we sort of make sense of what is going on around them to try and keep up with with royalty, but most importantly to stay up to date, of course, with what is always going to be happening in our royals world. So thank you for the support, guys. 50k is such an awesome achievement. I didn't know I would achieve this subscribership at this time of the year. So please thank you. Carry on supporting these messages. Let us share this page, comment and like these messages, because the more we do, the further these messages reach. But thank you guys so much. So Lorraine says, congratulations on over 50k. Not long till you be 100k. Hey, thank you so much, Lorraine. Of course, you've been there from day one. I can't even thank you enough for your support. You're always the first to get onto these live streams, and of course the power behind your responses keeps me showing up every day. Thank you so much, Lorraine. I always acknowledge your support, and when you show up on these lives, I always acknowledge that. So thank you so much, my dear friend. And Lily Page, yes, and earlier on it wasn't. Let's see. She says, congratulations for your 50k massive subscription. Indeed, Lily Page, thank you so much. This has been a journey, an incredible journey you've very much been part of. So thank you so much. Looking forward to growing this channel to greater heights, guys. The more we show up here every day, the more we show kindness and love to this channel, the more our channel messages will reach those even more further. But thank you guys, I really appreciate. And yes, Lorraine, keep those messages coming. And Lily, thank you so much for always being part of these lives. And of course, it's hard work, especially with what is going on in the world, managing work and again balancing social media and making sure that my friends like you guys stay up to date with whatever is going on in our royals world is a bit of a challenge indeed. But your support always goes a long way to helping me achieve these milestones. So guys, I'm really grateful for your support, kindness and love. So again, we are here to catch up on what has been going on in our royals world. A lot has actually been happening since Queen Elizabeth died and since she was buried. Our royals haven't stopped. Before I go into this this sort of royal news catch up, guys, I've posted a video of a motor show which has been taking place in and around our area here. It's one function that we are always looking forward to every year. So So it's literally people bring their cars, cars that they have owned over long periods of time, well looked after vintage cars on display in our local town. And we have young people, old women, men who love cars, and sort of that area of the world come to pay, to have a look at these cars and sort of see, what sort of cars have been there in the past. And of course, most of these cars that have been on display are vehicles that have very much, been the basis of the new cars that we see every day. So if you haven't seen that video, guys, head over to my page. I've just posted that video about an hour ago, so you can catch up with it. Yes, so Lauren says, any plans on how you will celebrate once you get 100K? Ooh, Lauren, I think we are going to throw a massive party here. I will seek your advice again on this, Lauren. You have always been there to give us tips and, the way forward. So it is going to be a massive party, I think. I'll just go and take I'll go and get a seat and place it in front of Buckingham Palace out there, get a teapot, some cakes and all that stuff, and the party will be right in front of Buckingham Palace. So let's keep going strong on this journey, Lorraine, and everybody who is on this live, and we will sort of achieve the 100K milestone. It seems far, but when you look at how long I've achieved the 50K, the road to achieving the 50K, it hasn't been that long actually, because I remember starting this channel back in last year around September time. So in about a year and a few months maybe, yes, I've achieved the 50K milestone. But again, it's up to consistency and also being able to connect with people like I do with you, my dear friends, but also making sure that you bring those stories that people enjoy listening to. But it's not easy, and it's a journey that very much has been, achieved through not working on my own, but together as a team, as we know this great bunch of you guys out there on these live streams every day. So we've got Lorraine again says, royal news in a little thin on the ground at the moment as the morning period ended. Yes, it's on the thin right now, because obviously there is now the royals are sort of taking that bit of rest, because they worked incredibly hard during the morning period, traveling from up and down the country, going to Wales, Scotland, Northern Ireland, and King Charles III himself, of course, the journey he took to all these countries before the actual funeral service must have made all these royals very, very tired. So they have been taking that well-deserved break from royal activities, and also remember the kids themselves very much took part in the mourning process. So William and Catherine, should also, must have taken that back seat again to try and spend a little more time with family. And so is Sophie, the Countess of Wessex, and Princess Anne as well is taking some downtime recently. So we are just seeing them come out again, okay? But this was a well-earned break, and they really, really worked tirelessly to make sure that the mourning period was a success, as we also there. So it has been really, really quiet, but we are going to see things start to pick up in the next coming few days and maybe weeks. But stay tuned, guys. I will be sharing these messages every step along the way. Okay. So do we think we will be seeing the king out and about, apparently being announced? He won't be going abroad for some event. Sorry, yeah, that's true, Lorraine. And actually, King Charles III has just announced that he will not be attending the Commonwealth Summit, I think, which is due to take place I'm not sure, but he was due to travel abroad to attend a Commonwealth Summit on the 2nd of November, but that has been put on hold because I think he is still settling down, but also with the current crisis going on in government with the budget and the law cuts, the energy bills and everything. So it has something to do with the monarch staying around to see the country stabilize before he starts going out. So we are still going through some sort of economic turmoil back here in the UK. Those who live here, Lauren, I think you will agree with me. But yes, there is an event that King Charles III has just cancelled, which was due to take place around November 2nd or November 8th, sometime next month. So that event has been cancelled. Prince William cancelled his event, his travel to United States for the summit of his action projects. I think he was due to go there September 22nd, around that time. So of course that was very understandable as well, because we have just come through the mourning process. So royals flying abroad, we know how much it takes in terms of preparations and the team that they carry with them across and all those arrangements. But it becomes incredibly difficult for them to start rearranging those things, especially coming from whatever the country has been facing with the death of Queen Elizabeth. So most of these royal tours would have been cancelled based on the fact that, the country at large and the Commonwealth are still mourning the death of our beautiful late Queen Elizabeth. So let's see, Lorraine again says, the summit, something like, yes, that was it. Yeah, it was to do with the Commonwealth Summit. Lorraine, you're very right there. As you said, the Queen Consort will join him for her to believe she's not a very good thing. Yeah, absolutely. The Queen Consort, Camilla, and Camilla as well wasn't really fit recently following, of course, we know how COVID and all that stuff impacted most of our royals who caught it. So Camilla is also still recovering somewhere, somehow. So most of all these considerations might have been put in place. But again, I think it is a good decision to take some time out with traveling and just concentrate on settling in. King Charles III has so many documents to sign behind the scenes. They have a backlog of activities, but also this comes from a very trusted source. While Queen Elizabeth was still here, you remember she was sort of she had taken a back step to sort of heal, and most of these events she was supposed to be going to attend were always cancelled. So apparently, these would be the first events that King Charles III will be visiting or will be hosting before he jumps onto other events. So there is a backlog of events sparing back to when Queen Elizabeth was here. And the royals are said to be trying to see how they can cover up these events before they start going ahead with the new upcoming events. So it is messy, it is busy, they are still organizing things, and King Charles III as well is in the process of moving from what is it, his palace, St. James Palace, to Buckingham Palace. So that is another sort of busy lot of work for them to do, making sure that the king settles into Buckingham Palace comfortably. Okay, so yes, so there's a lot going on behind the scenes, and also as royals take that break. Okay, so hi Matt Bayton, great to see you join this live today, guys. I'm really so honored to have you again on a Sunday. Of course, we know how Sundays are busy with us preparing to go back into the new week. People are putting things together, so to see you stick around these lives is always such a great honor. But I'm always very grateful for having you on these lives. Do we think we will get a Christmas message this year with with the kind carry on? Okay, yes, of course, that those messages are going to be there, and I think this is why King Charles III has been very, I mean, busy behind the scenes trying to put these things, in order, in place. Remember the speech he gave when he said that, well, we've lost Her Majesty the Queen, and the challenge for King Charles to carry on the Majesty's work as it should be started on that very day. And this includes making sure that they craft all those messages, New Year's messages, Christmas messages, and I think this would be a Christmas message probably that was written by Queen Elizabeth that we are going to hear King Charles III deliver on the day. So look out for that as well in the papers. A trusted source apparently says that Queen Elizabeth might have crafted a Christmas message to kind of wrap up this, and this will be delivered by King Charles III. But we know that these messages, following royal history and many years that we've come to this point, these have always been, there for us, regardless of whether the monarch is not well or well. So we shall have these messages, Lorraine, and I think King Charles, we know him as a very eloquent leader, very confident in delivering messages. He's learned from the best teacher in the world, so we are not even worried, we are not even worried whether these messages won't be delivered in the way they should, because King Charles over time has been told, he's been seeing his mom deliver these speeches. So yes, look forward for those Christmas messages, Lorraine, unless otherwise, but here we go. No, you're right, Lorraine, you're right, keep firing those questions away. Have we seen all the titles change that we are going to see? Or does the king still have time to give people different titles? That's another good question. Of course, that brings us, first, before I go into that, Lorraine, did you, I don't know if you've seen the new photograph released by the royal family. And this photograph is of the new slimmed down monarchy. So we've seen King Charles III with Camilla and Catherine and Prince William. So literally that's the next sort of wave of leadership that we have got. And that message is very, very clear that, look, this is the way forward. Here is the team that is going to take messages of the royal family forward strongly. And this would have been the team, of course, a very trusted team from Her Majesty the Queen, because, before she died, she had, of course, named these people. So she's very much aware that, the monarchy is still in great hands. It was interesting as well because that photograph was taken on the 18th of September. So that would have been a day before the state funeral took place. But as you can see, the royals had a smile on. They managed to put themselves together to stand up and take that photo. If you haven't seen that photograph, it is on the banner of this live stream, but also on the royal family Instagram page. I think it was shared yesterday, a photograph of the new slimmed down monarchy. Okay, so William and Catherine all singing and dancing, and we've got King Charles III and his lovely wife Camilla. Okay, so this group here is really, really enjoying settling in. And of course, for a while, they have been sort of putting these arrangements in place, even when Queen Elizabeth was there, of how the monarchy is going to be moving forward. Now, again, this comes from a very, very reliable source that the plan that the royal family is following right now, would be a plan that was put together by Queen Elizabeth and this team before she passed on. Okay, so these are not new ideas that are just popping out and all that, but these would be things and plans that were put in place by the monarchy, by Queen Elizabeth herself before she died, of course, together with King Charles and William, who has now become really, really close to his dad moving forward. And I think most of you will agree with me that Prince William put out a statement a few weeks ago saying that he's prepared to stand with the new monarch to see that the royal family moves forward in ways that Queen Elizabeth would have wanted. So yes, Lorraine, these titles, have been there. So we know that now Prince Edward, who is Queen Elizabeth's son, the youngest son now, is the Duke of Edinburgh. Okay, so this would be a very, very prestigious title to give out, very, very special title. But also we know now that I think Princess Royal Anne now has also earned herself a title, a very prestigious one. I think she also becomes, I'll check, but it has to do with Edinburgh again, a title which very much belonged to her mother. Okay, so most of these royals are being rewarded, rewarded by titles for the great work they did. Okay, and then Lauren again says, have you seen the new Money with the King? And it's yes, I've seen that. Actually, it's very quick. Actually, I don't know how they've managed to put together all these arrangements. And now we've seen Prince King Charles's face being printed on the coins, and of course he was looking the opposite direction. Queen Elizabeth was looking that way, and King Charles is looking that way, opposite direction. But apparently that is the royal tradition, which was set back during the times of King George, where every monarch that will always be coming in will be facing a different direction. I don't know what that means, but I don't know. Maybe it's to show support when you have your back on each other. I don't know what it is, but yes. It was great to see King Charles III printed on the coins now. And this is actually showing that he's settling in well. The monarch is where he's supposed to be. Okay, these are the bits and bobs that show us that things are really moving forward in a direction that they are supposed to be. Okay, so I haven't got my hands on any of those coins, but very soon we shall all be able to do that. Okay, so but I'm very, very, very happy that these things are happening. Okay, let's see again. Lorraine says, I thought the photo of King, I thought a photo of the King and Queen Consort and the Prince and Princess of Wales was lovely, but the King did look a little sad, understandable with it being today before his mom's. Absolutely, Lauren, thank you for highlighting that. That photo was taken on the 18th of September, and the day following was going to be the funeral. Okay, the state funeral. So it is absolutely understandable that that happened. I mean, that they managed to put on a smile like that and put themselves together. Of course, they were wearing all black, but it was a fantastic photo, I think. And it also showed unity in a certain aspect, because you were able to see Catherine and William there together, and then King Charles and Camilla. So it was a symbol of unity by all means. I don't know how Meghan and Harry felt about that photograph, of course. They'll probably have loved to have a photo taken of all the rest of the royal family members. But of course, what we know is King Charles, even before the Queen died, he put it out there very, very clearly that he is going to slim down the monarchy to only those people who are very dedicated, who are hardworking. But also it's a way of maybe reducing on the costs, because now it's becoming increasingly expensive to run things, those trips here and there. So they want to make sure they are spending money on people who are going to be dedicated and people who are going to be doing the work. As we've seen William and Catherine, of course, Princess Anne is also doing whatever she does behind the scenes, and I think she will be taking on more engagements. Princess Anne will, because of the death of the Queen. So most of all these patronages that the Queen was running are going to be assumed by Princess Anne, and Sophie as well has got herself a very good title. Again, something that shows us that you know they are sort of recognizing her for her great service to the royal family. Okay, Lorraine says, anyone excited for the coronation? When do we think it will be? Apparently, it could be a while away. So, Lorraine, the coronation is always a year away, and I think this over the history of the royal families has been so because they want to allow a 1 year mourning period because before jubilations start again. It wouldn't be fair to start the jubilations, before even people start getting Queen Elizabeth out of there. Of course, we shall never get her out of our minds, but to start a coronation or jubilations before a year, according to people who are planning these events, would be so early. So yes, the coronation is likely to take place next year around June time, around the same time the Queen's birthday parades used to take place, and depending on what sort of weather it will be on the day. But these dates will be out in plenty of time to allow people plan. But it's going to be a year, so I know Queen Elizabeth died September, so technically coronation could have been around September onwards, but because of the winter season, okay, these events would not be celebrated in the way they would have, what people would have wanted because of the snow and how cold it will be. So there is a possibility of dropping down to around June time, or maybe waiting to do the celebrations around April, May, June time of 2024, which is technically more further. So the earliest date could be around June time, 2023, the same period when the Queen's birthday parades used to be celebrated. And this would be, of course, in honor of Her Majesty herself again as Prince Charles comes in. But we are looking forward to the coronation ceremony. And what we know as well is that King Charles III has started sending out invitations to world leaders who will be attending this ceremony. And apparently, according to a source, Meghan and Harry might not attend the coronation ceremony of King Charles III. And this will be down to the fact that Meghan and Harry don't want another humiliation like they consider themselves to have gone through while they came here they didn't really come for the funeral. They were here when Queen Elizabeth died. And again, that's another question as to if they would have come down here had they been abroad at the time of Queen Elizabeth's death. So, but apparently they say they might not come down for the coronation in fear of being humiliated, in fear of being isolated, that they were not happy with the treatment they received. Of course, they know that when they come here, they are not offered those seats at the front together with other royals. They are always placed somewhere away from the limelight. And we know how much Meghan and Harry don't want that. So, of course, now sources have started reporting that Meghan and Harry might not attend the coronation ceremony, which could be a good thing because, again, we don't want any sort of overshadowing over these key royal events. We know what Meghan and Harry do when they attend events. Okay. But apparently no ceremony for the new Prince of Wales, as he is aware of how much people are struggling, which is very sweet. Still sad won't be ceremony for him. Absolutely, that is really, we would have loved to see this. But I think some sort of celebration will take place somewhere, somehow, because we have seen Queen Elizabeth sort of proclaiming the Prince of Wales. We saw that. And so I think King Charles might do something small for Prince William and Catherine. I mean, Prince William, yes, something small, at least behind the scenes. Or this could just be a tea party or something, but something special has to take place somewhere, somehow. And because of how Prince William is really, really key in how the monarchy is going to be moving forward, we know the popularity he's got. We know the love William and his wife have from the public, from all royalists. So maybe that event would also be an event that would create uh, more awareness, especially among the young ones, about the love for the royal family, but also will bring more people on board. Let us not forget that the royal family is going through very challenging times. We've got Meghan and Harry tearing the royal family apart from across the Atlantic. We've got problems with Prince Andrew somewhere there. So these really are the sweet moments that hold the world of royalty together, showcasing the work done by those few royals like William and Catherine is always goes a long way to sort of restoring that hope for the royal family going forward. So although William mentioned that maybe a ceremony, there won't be a ceremony of some sort for him as the new Prince of Wales. Behind the scenes, I know the royal family might be preparing something small. Okay. Hi, Kenya. Thank you so much for joining in and appreciate your support. To this channel, Takenya lifestyle there, my dear friends, is my friend called Phoebe, and she's based in Turkey. She is also a fashion and design blogger, and she also talks about so many things happening in Turkey and helping so many people who want to settle down in Turkey. So if you get chance, my dear friends, visit her channel and show her some support. She has been here with us from day one. So let us show some kindness to Takenya lifestyle. Phoebe, if you're getting this message, can you please drop your channel link in the comment section below? Let people try and locate your channel so they can show you some kindness and love. But I really, really appreciate all of you stopping over on this live. Lorraine, those questions are really, really great, and they are really guiding our conversations today. So talking about the slimmed down monarchy there, of course, we saw that photograph released. Catherine, William, King Charles III, and of course Camilla. That photograph is very, very telling of a monarchy that is now going to be based on rewarding only those royals who are hardworking. Okay, so remember, way back, they would have had the whole royal family take a photograph, and family photo. You would have all the princess royal and her children. You'd have the Beatrices and Eugenies. You'd have all these people there, but the way they took this photo was telling us that, right, so from now on, I know that we have many other senior royals, but again, in terms of leadership, this is the team that is going to be guiding how the royal family will be moving forward. And this team pretty much includes only the, of course, the monarch and the heir to the throne, which is very understandable. But trust me, behind the scenes, I know there are some royals, like Meghan and Harry's, who might have wanted, who might have seen this as a discriminatory act of maybe, picking out some out of the many. But I think it was a great way to show the world that indeed your resources, will be spent on people who are going to be hardworking and dedicated. Do you think King Charles will take away Harry and Meghan's titles? And if so, when? So that's a good question. Of course, this is what people want to see. They want to see King Charles III take away Meghan and Harry's royal titles. And they are very right to think like that, because we know how much Harry and Meghan have misused these titles. We know, Meghan right now is running a podcast series, and in that podcast, I think it's called the Archetypes podcasts, she is obviously talking about the royal family in ways that are not honoring, King Charles III, in ways that are actually demolishing the royal family. So would they want somebody who holds a Duchess of Sussex title to still hold it and then push messages like that out? So they would rather get rid of her, get rid of those titles. Okay, let her do her own thing as Meghan Markle. So it is highly likely that King Charles III will trigger a clause that is going to take these titles away from Meghan and Harry. Of course, we have seen something happen with the Danish royalty when the Crown Prince, I think, Princess Mary, her children have been withdrawn of their titles. So I think this is also going to sort of become a basis on which King Charles here will use to take those titles away. But I think, given the fact that Meghan and Harry are no longer working royals, okay, this very much means that they shouldn't hold those titles. So King Charles III is indeed looking for ways of retrieving those titles of these royals. After all, they are no longer working royals. And with Prince Harry's book very looming, because we know Prince Harry is due to write a book, and in this book apparently he's going to tell it all and tell the stories of his growth, how he was treated like otherwise from Prince William, and how his wife, of course, didn't receive the best treatment he wanted her to receive. So with that book on its way, it is also sort of speeding up the process of actually taking those titles away from them before the book is released. Unless Prince Harry drops that book. But again, I don't think he's going to drop that book, because he's taken a huge chunk of money in payments from the publishers. Okay, and they want this book published in its whole truth, apparently. Harry was trying to edit out some bits and bobs that were going to be delicate, but the publishers were saying, nope, the book has already been written, no more editing, we want it the way it is. So there seems to be no way out of this. So Harry is just going to have that book published, or say, no publishing that book, here is your money. But they've used all the money. Apparently they were paid how much money? 20 million US dollars, and they've used nearly 3/4 of that money. Where are they going to get that money? Unless Harry's going to come here and say to his dad, King Charles III, can you pay me money so I can refund that money to the publishers, and then I won't publish this book? Which I don't think King Charles III can agree with easily, given the fact that King Charles now has people like Prince William besides him that help him make decisions. And I don't think William is somebody who can say, right, drop that book, here is the money. It's not as easy as that. Now, Prince Andrew's case was very different. And of course, with Prince Andrew, the times as well were different from the times Harry wants to produce this book. Okay, so yes, there is a high likelihood of Meghan and Harry losing those titles. And it is going to be down to the fact that their behavior of late isn't the sort of behavior that the royal family very much welcomes. And I think many royalists around the world would love to see these two lose those titles. Okay, so behind the scenes, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of debating over these issues. They want to be able to make these decisions in a way that is not going to affect, of course, Meghan and Harry's children, because these are very young and all that. But they are very, very careful to do it in a way that is going to be, No. I don't know even how to put it. But yes, your question there, will they be losing their titles soon? The answer is highly likely. So let us keep our eyes open for this, Kitty. Okay. Is it DJ Mom? Yes, sorry, not Kitty. So Kitty says, no, did I miss a comment there? Lorraine says, I don't think he will take the titles, but I don't think he will make them working royals again. He made it clear in his address that he wishes them well wherever they go. Yes, he said that, and that was very, very, very telling of a king who wanted them away from the monarchy. I wish you well, but stay there, stay there. And Harry is, of course, born a prince, so he's a prince. He's got royal blood, okay? So he's always going to be a prince. But if he goes on to do things that are not appealing to the royal family, there is a clause that can be triggered to make them lose those titles, okay? I know these things have to go through the parliament together with the monarch himself. But again, King Charles now, according to the new powers we hear, he's got so much power to do things, if they don't agree with the monarch moving forward. Okay, so fingers crossed, Lauren. Let's look at what is going to happen. The next 2 years are going to be very, very crucial. But I think before King Charles III's coronation, he's going to work out something that is going to surprise all of us, okay? Because I think by the time we get there, he wants this issue of Meghan and Harry to be done with, so that nothing really, really interferes with his upcoming occasion. And Kitty here says, I hope titles taken, or if hers was bright, he would put his titles in advance for his future use. Yes, actually, that's a good idea, Kitty. Thank you for highlighting that. And of course, I don't know if you've heard about this story, guys. Meghan's ex-husband Trevor is due to write a book, and in this book, he's going to be talking about about his relationship, his past relationship with Meghan. This is so surprising because this is going to be the first time Trevor comes out to say something about their relationship. But apparently, he's going to tell it all. The way Meghan used to treat him and what led to the divorce, those things. And it is highly likely that these would be things that are going to annoy Prince Harry in one way or the other, because most of these will be affirming what people already are starting to think about Meghan. Okay, so who knows, we could see a divorce coming up after this book, after these things. Already we know that many people are saying that the relationship between Meghan and Harry is already in some form of strain. Okay, so add this on to that, add this on upcoming book from Trevor, Meghan's ex-husband. Again, we could see the whole thing collapse. And then we could see Harry coming back into the royal fold. Okay, we could see a Prince Harry who will be sort of apologetic for his behavior because he didn't know all these things. Okay, And again, that could mean that maybe, certain changes take place. Harry allowed back in, given his title, and then that title reallocated to whoever next comes in. But yes, let us keep this space, guys. There is a book that is upcoming from Trevor Engelson. I don't know how they pronounce that name. Meghan's ex-husband. He is due to write a book about his relationship with Meghan, and he is going to be detailing the whole truth about what went on, what led to the divorce, Meghan's behavior, and how he actually thought that whoever Meghan is going to get married to next is also going to end up in the same way like him. So let us keep watch of these stories, guys. I'll be dropping those stories here again once I get to hear them. And then Lauren says, no, he will never give up the titles, never know will she do much to gain with them. Yep, okay, so of course we know how much, Lorraine, you make a crucial point there. We know how much Meghan is benefiting from these titles. Duchess of Sussex. And I know in those Oprah Winfrey interviews, Meghan was saying, right, I'm not in for the titles, I'm da 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 da. But clearly you could see a Meghan who really, really wanted these titles recently when rumors came out that King Charles is going to be withdrawing royal titles of their kids, and the prince and princess titles of their children is also going to be withdrawn. And you saw how Meghan and Harry became furious, because they know how important these titles are, yet they don't want to come to agree publicly. Okay. So it is going to be very, very interesting what is going to happen in the next year or so. But Meghan, Harry, very much are still benefiting from the fact that they are the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. And we know that all the contracts, projects they are getting from Spotify, from Netflix, are all based on the fact that they have that title. Because strip that title off them, they lose everything. Okay, the power bestowed in those titles is immense because they keep that royalty aspect in you. Okay, so take those titles away, they will be no more. And of course, we know that when you look at the British royal family website now, a lot of changes have taken place on that website, including ex-working royals dropped down the website. So Meghan and Harry have been pulled up from wherever they were up there to further down the website. And that for us is telling us that the process of taking them out of the royal family is now starting, because that's how things start. They don't pull out things, they don't pull the plug very fast, very quickly, but things go in phases, and we have already seen that starting to take place via the royal family. If you go and read all the biographies, biographies of these royal members on the royal family website, Meghan has been, in her biography, they have withdrawn support for the Queen or support for the King aspect, because all of them have that support to the King, or they provide support to the Queen. But for Meghan, that has been pulled out. They've just written charitable work there in place of supporting the Queen or the King, meaning that they have for long started the process of taking her out of the royal fold, And they are right, because the behavior that these two have put up over the last few years prior to the Queen's dying was unacceptable. The things they did, the Oprah Winfrey interviews, contracts they are signing with Netflix that do not, that the royal family does not agree with, have all caused a lot of strain. Okay, and we know Her Majesty the Queen, as old as she was, these are the things that she did not like, and these would have been some of the things that really, really added that pressure onto her, making her stressed and all those things. So when these decisions are being made against Meghan and Harry, they are being made simply because of their crude behavior. prior to the Queen's dying, but also because they chose to leave. They left the royal family. Therefore, they shouldn't be appearing in any way, shape, or form in capacities of royal family members when there are none. Okay. So Lauren again says, it's all a sad situation, really very, very sad, very delicate at this moment, because again, Meghan and Harry have their own fans who are there thinking that our royals are being mistreated. There is a bit of discrimination going on here. Maybe Harry, because he married this and that, that's why he's being treated like that. But let us not forget that Harry himself, for long, has said that him and his brother walk different paths. So these statements themselves were showing that maybe, he wasn't believing in the royal family itself. So why would they think about him in terms of how the monarchy is going to be moving in future? But again, there are stories that came out recently that Harry wants to come back. But I think this is down to the fact that things are not going as the way he thought they would be. And maybe he's starting to realize that his beliefs were wrong. Okay. And it could also be that maybe most of all his behavior was fueled by Meghan, who said to him, listen, this isn't that, you're being treated otherwise, yet you're entitled to this and that, making him forget the royal protocol, royal procedures, and how the royal family works. Okay. So, in terms of the royal family future and how the monarchy is going to be moving forward, I don't really see Meghan and Harry in the picture according to King Charles's perspective and according to how King Charles is looking at moving forward. And that's why we saw that photograph, William and Kate, King Charles and Camilla, the four of them, to show us that from now on, decisions are going to be us going forward. Harry isn't even talking to his brother, yet his brother constitutes a bigger proportion of the decisions that are being made in the royal family every day. Even things like designing seats, the locations of where guests are going to be sat, even the smallest of those decisions are made by, Prince William together with King Charles. Okay. So unless Harry again sorts himself out with how he's relating to his brother William, I don't see him coming back in positions he wants to. And also because of that, all the decisions that are going to be made are always going to be alienating these two former working royals. Okay. But we also have Catherine coming in the picture here. Catherine is also somebody who was really, really hurt by Meghan and Harry, because Catherine used to be very close to Harry. He used to advise him. He used to be like, a little brother, small brother to her. And what Harry decided to do is just go away and start doing whatever they did and whatever they said about Kate in that Oprah Winfrey interview, where Meghan talked a lot about Catherine. Okay, things that really, really annoyed Catherine. Now, Harry knew Catherine inside out. He should have stepped up and said, right, listen, before even these interviews took place, he should have stepped up and say to Meghan that, listen, if you're intending to speak about Catherine, please don't, because I know her. She's not that sort of person. But Harry didn't say nothing, and Meghan went on and said whatever she said, blasted Catherine to the core. And that's why we saw Catherine behave the way she did when, they were walking down. You remember that surprise visit down in Windsor? Catherine didn't say a word to Meghan, not even a single word. The body language of these two women could tell you what was going on. Even when they traveled in the same car, it is highly likely that there was a lot of silence in that car. And apparently, William made that phone call to invite Harry and Meghan to come for that walkabout on the day, because there were rumors that Meghan and Harry were planning their own walkabout in London, which was going to sort of disorganize the whole occasion. Okay, so it was a very, very thoughtful thinking from William here, who invited them, because they say keep your so-called enemies close so that you see what they are about to do. Okay, so it's a way of controlling them. Okay, but anyway, guys, no, he will never give up the titles. Never. No, we should do much. Yes, yes. So those titles mean a lot to them. They do, don't they? But it's really, really sad indeed, because in this time and age, Prince William, Harry grew up together. They should have been more stronger, especially during Queen Elizabeth's death. Queen Elizabeth lost her husband, the late Prince Philip. Still, Harry didn't show up. Harry turned his back against them. No support. When Queen Elizabeth died, Prince Harry, got into a massive row with King Charles III and delayed the whole bunch from arriving on time to see Queen Elizabeth before she died. Apparently, stories have started coming out that they had invited only senior royals and immediate family members to go to Balmoral to see the Queen. And then Harry made a fuss of it because his wife was not invited. And because of those arguments, they ended up delaying to jump on transport. Anyway, the rest of the royal family members ended up making their way to Balmoral, but they were nearly half an hour late, and they ended up arriving late simply because, Harry got himself entangled in those disputes. Catherine did not go. Okay, so why would then Meghan go? This was a private event. Maybe the Queen had something to say to only the family members that she didn't want to leak. And as well as that, we know how much the royal family don't trust Meghan. What if she was there and these things were said, and next day you find these things appearing on podcasts and interviews abroad? Okay. Come from California here. Do you think there are any truth in have slept with Prince Andrew when she was a yacht girl? Well, I can't comment on that. I really can't. But really, who knows? With Meghan, anything can be possible, because we know how much she has always been craving for fame. She has been craving to be in those places where she's going to be noticed. Okay. And this upcoming book here from her ex-husband, Trevor Engelson, is going to be very, very, very important in how people are going to start looking at Meghan. Because apparently he's going to tell it all. He's going to tell us Meghan's behaviors and her narcissist behaviors apparently, and how, she actually, orchestrated this divorce thing because she thought she had achieved whatever she wanted. Okay, so again, we are waiting to see. But with Meghan, really, you never know, because she's somebody that you could easily predict sometimes, but what can we do? Let's keep our eyes open. MJ said, is it true that Casey wants Harry to take a paternity test? King Charles. That's another delicate conversation, because of many people are actually starting to think maybe this behavior and what made Prince Harry go is the fact that he knows he's not an inside child. Okay. But these tests would have happened a long time ago because they have the money, they have the resources in place. Okay, these DNA tests and everything must have really taken. But I think what they didn't want to do is to go through that heartache and knowing the truth and all that stuff. And of course, with Prince Harry being very delicate, as we know, if he finds out, what can he do? What else could he do? Okay, if he's behaving like this right now, and he has always been a rebel child, Prince Harry has. But what else can he do if he found out that he's actually an outside child? But these are, I think these are arrangements. Actually, thank you for bringing this up, MJ Mom. This could be arrangements going on behind the scenes. Okay, but of course, these are again private matters. The royal family really doesn't like to comment on things like this or keep these things out in the public because indeed they are very private matters. But I think there is something of a sort that is taking on in the background. Okay. Lauren says, Casey King Charles, you meant? Yeah. Okay. So I'm not sure why he would want him to do that. I think that's just silly rumor. Yes. So, and the other thing as well about the sensitivity of that matter is Harry has been okay. So we know that Princess Diana and King Charles were in this relationship. It was a very troubled relationship, and partly it could be that. Princess Diana did whatever he did because King Charles obviously did whatever he did as well. So while King Charles is putting up all these decisions and making these sort of decisions, difficult decisions, he's also very careful not to overdo it, not to be very, what's the word? Yes, he's trying to be careful not to, because he knows that this might again trigger emotions of the past, especially because he knows how things went with Diana as a result of what King Charles had done to Diana. So he's also being very careful. Okay. But the bottom line here is he's trying to do things for the best interest of the monarchy going forward, because they want the monarchy to exist for as long as it can, to help the Commonwealth people, to help Britain, United Kingdom is sort of benefiting a lot from having a monarchy in place. We know how much they bring in terms of revenues through tourists. We know how much those castles, the royal castles, earn every year through tourism. And also the work that the royal family does through patronages and support for local communities. So they want the royal family to be strong, to be moving forward in ways that are still going to be very helpful to the community. So anybody who comes up and wants to tear it down or who wants to come on the other side of it is always going to be dealt with in ways that are going to stop them from hurting the monarchy. So, as much as King Charles did his mistakes in the past with Princess Diana, things that Harry is threatening to talk about in his book, okay, King Charles wants to make sure that these things don't interfere, or Harry's behavior, Meghan's behavior doesn't ruin the royal family and stop it from actually doing the great work it is. So Prince William moved on from these things, and you can see how he is actually very close to his dad. He was hurt. Prince William was really hurt But he is very mature to know that things don't always work out the way, they are supposed to. But also he knows that mistakes are made, forgiveness is there. Okay. And that's why with Catherine now as the new Prince and Princess of Wales, he's going to do whatever he can do to make sure that the Prince and Princess of Wales title and glory is restored, because his mom and dad did not, were not successful in this position. Okay, so they want to really, really restore the glory and maybe carry on with the work that Princess Diana did, and sort of while she was the Princess of Wales. And Catherine very much wants to do that as well. And then who else? Cam Fang says, if Prince Harry wants to return home now, even without security, can he? I don't really care if Meghan does, but if they enter British customs, will they be searched for fantasy? So this issue of security was just an excuse for, yes, I know security is very much, needed. And also because now Meghan and Harry have got so many people in UK who don't like them. So yes, they need security. But at the same time, I don't think the royal family would not put in place some form of security for these people when they return here. I think Meghan and Harry wanted convoys and convoys of security and all that, because they always want that publicity, and also because of Netflix. They want Netflix to see that, yes, we are still very much valued and all that. But this whole security thing that Meghan and Harry are on about is just pointless, because they came back here they've been around recently. So what happened to their security? They still came back. Nothing happened to them. They came back for the One Young World Leadership Conference recently, and the World Child Conference recently. Did they have security? No. They just had the normal, bodyguards and all that stuff. But what happened to them? Nothing. Okay, so this security thing and Prince Harry, suing Her Majesty's government because they've denied him security was all causing heartache and problems to the royal family, and trying to make himself a victim together with his wife. And I think these were decisions, again, driven by Meghan through Harry. Let's do this. Why are they not giving us this? Why is Catherine having that? And we don't have it. There is a disagreement which was there in the palace a few years back, because the palace officials rolled down the red carpet for William and Kate. Meghan was saying, why haven't they rolled the red carpet out for us, Harry and myself? Okay, not knowing that William and Kate are future kings and queens, so they have a certain treatment they receive that other people don't. But because Meghan and Harry want to receive the same treatment, okay, that's why they are always on the opposite side of the royal family. And Harry should know this, because he's grown into royalty. He's seen these things happen over time. But I don't know how he could actually be led to think that he's being oppressed by his wife. Okay. But yes, guys, what do you think about? Do you guys want to see these two royals lose their titles? What do you think about that recent photograph that was released by the royal family, Catherine and William, and then King Charles and the Queen Consort Camilla? Did you like that photograph? Have you seen it? I think it's on the royal family Instagram webpage. But it was great to see them. Of course, we hadn't seen a picture of the four together. And so that would have been the very, very first image, really official image that has ever been shared by the royal family. But anyway, guys, I've been on here for a while. It's time to start wrapping up this before my phone battery dies. I don't want to end it on a very, very weird note. But it's been great to have you on this live. So we were looking at whatever's been going on recently, the family, royal family releasing that perfect photograph for to show us that this is the new face of the royal family. And then King Charles's coronation, which will be taking place sometime next year. I think it will be June because September, well, it's meant to take place a year after the death of Queen Elizabeth. But given the fact that September going to October is a cold month, I think they might do it a little bit earlier in the summer month. But those dates will be out soon. And also, we've been talking about whether Meghan and Harry will attend the coronation. It's highly likely that, Meghan and Harry might turn down that invitation to attend. It's because they don't want to be humiliated or call it isolated. Because every time they come to these events, the royal family makes sure to put them in places where they are not going to steal the limelight. And I don't think Meghan and Harry want that. So they might turn down the invitation to come and attend King Charles's coronation, which will be really stupid because, I mean, for Harry, this is your father. You'd be so honored to be part of your father's coronation, regardless of, of the feud that is there between you. And Harry and Meghan really want to use these events as a way of reconciling with the royal family. Okay, these are all opportunities of reconciliation, but because we know how much they are so self-minded and want to do things their own way, they are always looking at these opportunities as, we can't go there and be sat at the back of the bench. Okay, when they really know that they are no longer working royals. But anyway, that's it. Coronation is due sometime next year. Meghan and Harry could turn down the invitation because of the fear of humiliation. And Meghan's ex-husband is due to write a book. Trevor, Meghan's ex, is due to write a book in which he is going to be telling us the whole truth about their relationship, what led to the divorce. And apparently Meghan Markle is very, very worried, extremely worried that Trevor is going to write this book. Maybe that is going to make Meghan a little bit quiet behind the scenes, trying to work out ways in which to stop this book from coming out. But it is going to be interesting what will pop up in that book. And it is highly likely that that book might come out before King Charles's coronation. And what that would mean is that it would destabilize Meghan and Harry to a point where Harry might start realizing that, hang on, have I always been misled? Very interesting. Watch that space, guys. I'm worried for the Wells children, though. Will H&M still live in Windsor or at FC? Okay, so Frogmore Cottage. So they will. So I think because William had settled into the cottage right now with their children. Is it Adelaide Cottage with their children, which is literally not far away from Frogmore? They are going to stay there for the time being. But because, of course, we have Meghan living at Frogmore Cottage, and they are renewing the lease to stay there because that is their place to stay whenever they come back here in the UK. But as well as that, I think they know if they go out from Frogmore Cottage forever to live abroad, they will be losing those titles for good. So this Frogmore Cottage is just a small attachment to them so that they have that bit of royalty, or they are still close in one way or the other. But William and Kate's children, I think we shouldn't be worried here, Cam, because Meghan and Harry, after all, don't want to bring their children close here. They are not here always. They are always away. Okay, they only come back here when they come to attend events and all that stuff. But don't worry, William and Catherine are very much safe. Very, very much safe. It's a shame, really, that Meghan and Harry are not bringing their children here to meet their cousins or nephews or whatever, because they are a family. How do you expect to raise children away? And then you still want them to have titles when they don't even know their cousins, their grandmas, their aunties, uncles. And this is Prince Charles's argument. If we can't see those children, why issue titles to children we are not even going to be able to see? Okay. So when you actually sit down and think about it, you will get to understand that whatever King Charles is actually thinking about in terms of withdrawing these royal titles is right. Because the Queen was here, how many times did they bring those children to see the Queen here? Okay. And they expect those children to have titles. Why? When they even don't mix with the rest of the royals here. Right, guys, this battery is going any minute from now. So I'm going to say thank you all for showing up on this live. Thank you all for the support and for seeing this channel grow to 50K. I can't be more happier than I am today. Your support has been incredible. Your responses to these messages on this live has been great. Okay, Cam Frank, thank you so much. Lorraine, Walker, MJ Mom, and Kitty, Phoebe, Lily, and whoever is on here. Matt, thank you so much if you're still on here. I'm really, really so grateful to have your support, your kindness, and for sticking around till the very end. These messages are here to sort of keep us informed with whatever is going on. I'll be back again very soon, again to share whatever I would have had. But for now, guys, stay safe, keep well. Let us continue praying for our monarchy to live on even more years to come, because they are doing a great job. And to Meghan and Harry, they better tread carefully, because they still need the royal family more than ever before. Bye bye, guys. Have a brand new week. Bye.